Mary J. Blige or someone has a song that says, I am not my hips, I am not my...
NDRE has a song called that.
I am not my hair.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. So, I have to get in on, I'm not on that hip side, but I knew I heard something about some self-esteem and empowerment.
Yeah, that's a really good song for that, because it's basically explaining her, like, journey, because in our society, especially black women, hair is important. It's like one of the major top things, and if you don't have like that long straight hair or like that good curly hair, then people ostracize you or say your hair is nappy or other insults, and for some people it really hurts deep. And so the song basically just explains like how you're not defined by your hair, and she went through a phase where she got a perm and wanted her hair to be straight, but then she decided it wasn't worth it, so she cut it all off and went natural. So it's just, I find that I love that song because it's not just conveying like hair, but like your body image. You don't have to be a certain type or look like this and that to be happy.
And it comes to mind, I remember when I was growing up, my family members, the women, they were pretty plump. And I was the skinny one, and they used to always tease me. And I did think something was wrong with me because they were plump and cushy, and and I was maybe about 6 years old or so, and we had walking dolls. I don't know if you guys remember that, but we had walking dolls. They stood fairly high, and you hold the hand, and they were stiff, but they were walking dolls. But the funny thing about it was I could wear the clothing from my walking doll. And they would tease me about that all the time. So it did affect me, because then when I saw someone who was plump, I always thought that I was never good enough, you know. And it wasn't until adulthood, I mean way into adulthood, maybe around 33, 34, that I got the realization that, hey, I'm okay. They were the ones that were plump. I was average. They were a little bit on the plump side. And even still, that I've come to that realization, I still think about it from time to time. It still affects me, and it's something that I'm aware of, but then when I feel that coming on, I know how to counteract that and say, no, I am okay, I'm average. The doctor said my weight is okay for my height and my body structure, I'm good. Let's talk about the other people who were telling me I was skinny, and let's see what's going on with them. So I can relate to that.
And also, to some degree, times have changed, because now it's all about wanting to be more curvy. So young girls feel like if their behind is not big enough, or if their boobs are not big enough, then they're not good enough, because guys now seem to be going after what, as they say, the Coke bottle shape or whatever is in.
Skinny waist.
Yes, exactly. So
I'm out.
So it's like either you're not skinny enough or you're not curvy enough. So it's like there's no balance in between.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because every store you go in now, and you'll find that you can find those types of support for you. So if you feel like you need more hips or more of a back end or junk in your trunk, or whatever they say, you can just go purchase it, and it's very inexpensive.
Yes.
And then you can put on your outfit and go on about your business.
I also like to say that a lot of times when you see girls in the magazines with the photoshopping, you only see the finished product. You don't see the hours that they went through of hair and makeup, the outfit. It's just, to sell things. So you're looking at something that's perfect. Nothing is perfect.
Yeah.
If anything, I like to say now that we're looking at perfection instead of perfection, because a lot of stuff is fake. It's not necessarily what you think it is.
All right, say that again. I want to make sure the audience hear that.
It's perfection, not perfection.
All right.
And I find that very ironic, because in English I actually had to write a paper on what society determines as beautiful and how people go to great lengths to achieve that beauty. And just like she was saying, the perfection, I was talking about how celebrities take all this money and spend it on to get work done, but people don't realize what is actually being done. And it's like, it's not just beauty, it takes pain to get through that. You have to sit in bed for several weeks in bed rest because you're going through pain before you can look good. So people don't realize it's not just you get it done and you look good. Like there's pain and suffering, you have to go through it. And sometimes they're not even satisfied, so they keep taking it to the extreme. So honestly, I feel like if you really don't have that self-esteem, you're going to keep pushing yourself to look even better and just putting yourself in a deeper hole because you're going to feel even worse, even though people think you look better, but you feel worse inside.
It's never going to be good enough. It's all about an image, but it doesn't matter how good you look on the outside. If you still feel terrible about yourself on the inside, I mean, you can pretty much pick and, you know, puff out and push in until there's nothing left, and you still won't feel good about yourself.
So, and that's what your movement actually speaks to. It speaks to how to handle yourself internally.
Exactly.
And how to accept yourself internally, and how to work on your mind, and you're working from that person and developing that person from the inside out.
Because we all have insecurities. I mean, I have some that I still deal with, and like I said, when I was younger, it was hard for me to deal with them. Even just physical stuff where you want to look a certain way, like I want my cheeks to be, you know, pushed in more. But, you know, you learn to love yourself for who you are. And as you get older, you realize that I don't want to be like everyone else. God made me the way he wanted to make me. He didn't make a mistake. I am the way that I am, and I'm going to love that.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said that. It's all about loving yourself.
Exactly.
Yes.
Being a little bit selfish. That word
Yeah.
self is there again.
Exactly.
Yeah. Janae, tell me, how do you think this movement can help the parents? Do you think it's a tool for the parents, or what message would you have for the parents?
I think the parents just need to take from this that you need to push encouraging your daughters as much as you can. Tell them that they're beautiful, starting from babies up until they're grown and out the house. Tell them they're beautiful. Tell them they're smart and pretty and they can do whatever they want to do. Let them know that they have that support. If they don't have it from anybody else, that they're supporting them. Because your family, like she said, her family cut her deep with that comment, but your family is the most important. And if you really respect your family, their opinions matter to you. So if you feel like you don't measure up to their quota, then you don't feel good about yourself. Even if other people say things, for me, if my family does not feel like I'm up to par, then I take that to heart because they're the ones I have to live with, and I know they're telling me the honest truth. So I feel like it's important for the parents to take this as a way to encourage their daughters and sons, to let them know that they're perfect just the way they are and that they can do whatever they set their mind to.
And also the book has tips for parents because it's talking to parents about how to really talk to your kids and not just feel like everything's fine if they look fine, like really getting in, asking them questions, open-ended questions, because if you ask closed-ended questions, they're going to give you just a one-word answer. Most teenagers are because they don't really want to talk. You have to really get into them and let them know that you are not being judgmental, that you really want to, you know, find out if there is an issue, if there's something going on, and you want to be there to support them and help them through the process. It also talks to dads, you know, that fathers are very instrumental, especially in daughters' lives. I mean, when you don't have a father in your life, I mean, I grew up with one, thank the Lord, but if you don't have one, I've had friends that didn't. You go through situations and you kind of feel like maybe you're not good enough because you want to know why your father wasn't there for you. So it's talking about how instrumental fathers are in their daughters' lives. My father has been very instrumental in my life. Just from childhood, growing up, I felt that he was strict, but I know now that he was strict because he had to be. Right. And I thank him for being so strict on me because it pushed me, obviously, to do what I'm doing now and to have that discipline. He really enforced discipline, and I thank him for that because, I mean, now within myself, I always say that I look like my mother, but I act like my father. So he put a lot of me inside of him. So fathers are very important in their daughters' lives.
I believe that. I feel like that's so true. Like, I think about that all the time, especially with my pastors talking. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a statistic or whatever, but I know for a fact that when daughters, especially, and young guys have their father in their life, it makes a difference, especially if he's a positive influence in their life, because I've seen so many girls, and you can compare, honestly, not to be nitpicky, but you can compare a girl who has a father who's in their life and positive compared to a girl who's come from a single parent home and their father's not there, because they act very different and their mindsets are. And I just feel like when the girl has that father there, it makes him have that self-esteem because I'm thankful too. I have my father in my life, and he's been he's like one of my best friends, honestly, because I can go to him and talk to him about stuff, and I know he's not going to judge me. He's going to give me the best advice, and even though I hate when he says I was a guy once too, and I know what they're thinking, but it really does give you that kind of like crutch because you have someone you know you can talk to and is going to give you their best opinion because they've been there, done that.
But not so much a crutch, but support.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, parents, you heard it from the selfish movement, and we know that the moms should set the example, lead by
Yes.
example. That's what you're saying. And then also the fathers being involved. And I know there are some fathers out there who will actually take their daughters out for dinner and actually show them how they should be treated. So they're also leading by example too. So this movement, the selfish movement, is not just for teens, it's for the parents, it's for people my age, senior citizens and above, okay? Because I just told you that I still had some issues that I had to work through too. Any closing comments?
I know that this movement is powerful and that it will change lives. And like you said, it's not just for girls, it's for everyone. And I was just thinking when you were talking, it's just all inclusive. It starts with the girls, but it includes the parents, the entire family pretty much, because everybody plays a part in it.
And my last closing comment is just be who you are and not who people tell you should be.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching the Help Yourself Experience. I've enjoyed being with you. A long time ago, a wise person said, "And all you're getting, get understanding." See you next time.